Good morning, my dear friends. I hope you all are doing great. In previous class, my dear friends, we have read about Le Chatelier's principle. What was that all about? Let us suppose you have a chemical reaction which is at equilibrium. When anything is at equilibrium, then temperature, pressure, concentration, all these things are constant. So what you are going to do, my dear friends, if you change the temperature, pressure, concentration for that chemical reaction which is at equilibrium, then what is going to happen? Let us understand it through Le Chatelier's principle. In previous class, we have understood the first factor, that was temperature, the effect of temperature over the equilibrium state of a chemical reaction or physical process. In this class, we will study the effect of pressure over equilibrium state of a chemical reaction or physical process. So let us move on. So our second point is here, effect of pressure change over equilibrium state. In previous class we have read the first factor, that was the effect of temperature change over equilibrium. If you increase the temperature, then endothermic reaction will take place. If you decrease the temperature, exothermic reaction will take place. Please remember that. And now today we are talking about the second factor, the factor which will affect the equilibrium. And we will make use of Le Chatelier's principle to understand it, my dear friends. So let us move further. Before we go into this topic, you must understand one important factor here, that is about Boyle's law. What is this Boyle's law all about, my dear friends? The value is inversely proportional to pressure. The value of a gas is inversely proportional to the pressure of the gas at constant temperature, my dear friends. So this is Boyle's law, which we are going to study in states of matter. Now here you try to understand, if I increase the value, what will happen to the pressure? The pressure will decrease. That means one factor is increased, another factor will decrease, because there is an inverse proportionality between them, my dear friends. Here we will try to understand the pressure. And whatever we understand about the pressure, for an equilibrium state, opposite will be for the value, my dear friends. So let us see how. Let's take on basically a chemical reaction here. Before we take on a chemical reaction, you must understand one important factor here. That is, remember, you know that solids and liquids, the pressure with respect to solids and liquids is insignificant. Yes or no? So solids and liquids are ignored here, ma'am. You have, if you study the effect of pressure change over equilibrium state, you have to neglect solids and liquids. So I will write down here, pressure exerted by solids or liquids is insignificant. Insignificant means not important. My dear friends, so remember this, pressure exerted by solids or liquids is insignificant. So we will see only the effect of pressure change over gaseous reactions at equilibrium, my dear friends. Please try to understand. The pressure exerted by solids or liquids is insignificant, means it can be ignored, it's negligible. Pressure change in case of solids and liquids is always negligible. So what will happen? So we will see on the, so we will see the effect. We will see the effect of pressure change over gaseous reactions at equilibrium. So my target will be only the gaseous reactions here, my dear friends. So have a look. If you take some reaction, let us suppose, which has solids and liquids and gases, let us suppose, then you have to neglect the pressure factor in solids and liquids, remember. Only you have to take the pressure factor in consideration for gases only, because gases will exert lots of pressure and the pressure change in solids and liquids is almost negligible, very small change in pressure. So let's take one reaction here, my friends. And one more factor before we start a chemical reaction, delta N factor. Delta N. So one more factor I will write down here. Delta N gaseous. If delta N gaseous, change in number of moles, gaseous moles, okay, is 0. If delta N is equal to 0, let us suppose, then pressure change will have no effect over equilibrium state of a gaseous reaction. So remember, my dear friends, if delta N factor is 0, at that time, if you change the pressure, then change in pressure will not affect the equilibrium process. First thing is that you should understand Boyle's law. If you increase the pressure, the value will decrease. So inverse proportionality at constant temperature. Second factor you should understand is about pressure. Pressure exerted by solids or liquids is negligible, insignificant. So we will study the pressure effect over the equilibrium of gaseous reactions. If gaseous reaction is at equilibrium, we will study what will be the effect of pressure over the equilibrium. Which principle? Le Chatelier's principle. Third factor which you remember is that, have a look. If delta N is equal to 0, delta N basically means number of moles of products in gaseous state minus number of moles of reactants in gaseous state. If that value is 0, then if you change the pressure for any chemical reaction which is at equilibrium, the pressure change will have no effect. Yes or no? The reaction will have no effect due to pressure change when delta N is equal to 0. So with these factors, let us start our chemical reaction, my dear friends. Look here. Let's take on the reaction number 1 here. Let's take on H2, let us suppose gaseous, plus I2 gaseous, I2 gaseous, and 2 times HI gaseous, my dear friends. This is my reaction, my dear friends. This is my reaction. So let us understand the first factor here. If we say these are the products, these are the reactants and these are the products, my dear friends. These are our reactants and these are our products. So now look here, let us calculate the delta N first thing for this. Delta N means change in number of moles in gaseous state. So NP gaseous, number of moles of products in gaseous state, minus number of moles of reactants in gaseous state. Now you tell me, my dear friends, the product is here. How many products are there? 2 minus, let's look here, 1 and 1, so 2. So delta N factor for this is 0. Okay? So for this chemical reaction, my dear friends, here delta N gaseous is equal to 0. So increase or decrease in pressure. If I increase the pressure from outside or if I decrease the pressure from outside, okay, then what will happen to this chemical reaction? Nothing will happen because delta N is equal to 0. So increase or decrease in pressure, that is change in pressure, I mean to say, increase or decrease in pressure, okay, will have no effect over the equilibrium state of this reaction. Will have no effect over the equilibrium state of this reaction. Which reaction I am talking about? I am talking about this reaction. Okay? So delta N is 0 here. So pressure will have no effect, my dear friends. Yes? Please remember that. And even volume change will also have no effect right out here. Because delta N is equal to 0. Please make note of this. So dear friends, now let us take on one more chemical reaction here. Have a look. Let's take on PCl3 plus Cl2 gives me PCl5. gaseous, gaseous and gaseous. So these are our reactants and these are our products. In reverse, this is reactant and this is product in reverse. Remember that? Okay. Now what is happening here? This reaction is at equilibrium. So this reaction is at equilibrium. Correct? So I am going to disturb the equilibrium, my dear friends, by applying Leisure-Lear's principle. I will disturb the equilibrium. Now somebody may be thinking that why do I disturb the equilibrium? I will tell you. What happens? Sometimes I want PCl fire. I want more and more PCl fire in this reaction. So I have to do the disturbance. Because in disturbance what will happen? Reaction will either go in forward direction or it will go in backward direction. If I disturb this reaction in such a way that reactants will change into products. What is the product here? PCl fire. I will get more and more PCl fire because I need PCl fire. But if I need PCl3 and Cl2, I will disturb the reaction in such a way that PCl5 will change back into PCl3 and Cl2. So it means by disturbing the reaction at equilibrium, we can get our desired products. If we want PCl5, we'll get it. If we want PCl3, you will get it. So depending on how you are disturbing the particular process. So let us take on here. First of all, we will calculate number of moles here. So number of moles of reactants. These are our reactants in gaseous state. How many moles are here? 2 moles. PCl3 and Cl2. So 2 moles. So how many moles we have here? Of products in gaseous state? 1 mole only, PCl5. So remember, here we have 2 gaseous moles. Number of moles are more here, and here number of moles are less. Yes? So you are going from reactants to products. So that means you are going from 2 moles to 3 moles in forward direction. Yes or no? Now let us talk about forward, okay, reaction. In forward reaction, what happens? Try to understand. This is very much important. In forward reaction, we are going from reactants to products. Yes or no? We are going from reactants to products. Correct? Reactants are how many moles? 2 moles. That means we are going from 2 moles to how many moles? 1 mole. When you go from 2 moles to 1 mole, yes or no? What will happen? Pressure will decrease because here these 2 moles will have more pressure, will exert more pressure. 1 mole will exert less pressure. That means you are going from high pressure to low pressure. In forward reaction, what happens? We are going from reactants to products. That means we are going from 2 moles to 1 mole. Yes or no? So pressure will decrease. So I will write down here. When we move from more moles to less number of moles, the pressure decreases. Please remember this term. The pressure decreases. And then if I go in a backward direction now, in which direction? Backward direction. What is going to happen? The pressure will increase because in backward direction I will go from products to reactants. That means I will go from 1 mole to 2 moles. Less number of moles to more number of moles. Then what will happen? The pressure will increase. So you should know that in which direction pressure is increasing and pressure is decreasing, correct? Then after that, I will change the pressure from outside. And then we will have the effect. And effect will be always opposite. If you decrease the pressure from outside, inside in the reaction it should increase. If you increase the pressure from outside, inside it should decrease, my dear friends. So first of all, let us understand these simple things here. And later we can change the pressure. So you have already known the factor here. In forward direction what happens? We are moving from 2 moles to 1 mole. And then what happens? You are moving from higher number of moles to lower number of moles. And then the pressure will automatically decrease for this reaction. Correct? So let us take on now second point here. Let us move in a backward direction. So here we will write down in backward reaction. what is going to happen, my dear friends? In backward reaction, you are moving from products to reactants. That means you will move from products to reactants. That is backward direction. So when you move from products to reactants, products are how many? 1. Reactants are how many? 2. That means you are moving from 1 mole to 2 moles. So when you move from 1 mole to 2 moles, what will happen? Okay? When we move from less moles to more number of moles, pressure increases. So pressure will increase here, my dear friends. So two terms you have understood here now. When we move from higher number of moles to lower number of moles, what will happen? Pressure will decrease. When we move from lower to higher, pressure will increase, my dear friends. Yes or no? Now, let us understand it by an example. Please make note of this. Dear friends, now let us see what will be the effect of pressure on this chemical reaction which is at equilibrium. I will change the pressure. I will increase the pressure and decrease the pressure. So let us see what is going to happen. Have a look. So first of all, change imposed. Change imposed over system means I am talking about this chemical reaction. Change imposed over system at equilibrium. So let me increase the pressure, my dear friends. Let me increase the pressure. I told you last time, if you increase the pressure from outside, Leisure-Lear's principle, if you increase the pressure from outside, the reaction will decrease the pressure. Correct? Opposite it will do. Any change imposed on system is opposed by the system. Any change imposed on system is opposed by the system. So what kind of change you are imposing on the system? You are increasing the pressure. You are increasing the pressure for this chemical reaction. So when you increase the pressure for this chemical reaction, let me mention the chemical reaction here. PCl3 plus Cl2 gives me PCl5. Okay, this is my chemical reaction. So increase the pressure. What will chemical reaction do? Chemical reaction will decrease the pressure. You are increasing the pressure from outside. This chemical reaction which is at equilibrium will decrease the pressure. How to decrease the pressure? Have a look here. In forward direction, what happens? 2 moles are changing to 1 mole. Yes or no? That means more number of moles should change into less number of moles. Then only pressure will decrease, my dear friends. So when you are increasing pressure from outside, then what should happen? What should this chemical reaction do? This chemical reaction should go from, okay, chemical reaction will go from higher number of moles to lower number of moles. When you go from higher number of moles to lower number of moles, means from when we move from more moles to less number of moles. Yes or no? What will happen? Pressure decreases. So chemical reaction will go from higher number of moles to lower number of moles. So what will happen? Which will result in decrease in pressure. Which results in decrease in pressure. Now tell me, where are the more number of moles? More number of moles are on which side? Reactant side, my dear friends. On reactant side, we have how many moles? 1 and 1, 2 moles. And how many moles we have on product side? On product side, we have only 1 mole. So reaction will go from, don't think that reaction will go from reactants to products. Think that reaction will go from higher number of moles to lower number of moles. Sometimes higher number of moles will be from product side and less number of moles will be from reactant side. Then reaction will go from where to where? From products to reactants. So you should remember only one thing. When you increase the pressure from outside, the reaction will take place in such a direction from higher number of moles to lower number of moles. So if we look at this reaction, we will see that higher number of moles are reactants and lower number of moles are products. That means reaction will go from reactants to product, that is forward direction. So I will get PCl5, more and more PCl5. Okay. So chemical reaction will go from higher number of moles to lower number of moles, which results in decrease in pressure. Okay. Okay. So that means reactants will change into products here, because we have here 2 moles to 1 mole. Yes or no? That means we will get more of PCl5 is formed. Okay. Reactants will change into products till. So that means forward reaction. So here forward reaction takes place. Forward reaction takes place till equilibrium is again established, till equilibrium is regained. So we got to know that the reaction will move from higher number of moles to lower number of moles. Higher number of moles means reactants, lower number of moles means products. So reaction will move from reactants to products, that is forward direction. Will it keep on moving in forward direction? Yes, but it will keep on moving till again equilibrium is established. Reactants will again change into product, then again equilibrium will be established. So it will move in forward direction only till the time equilibrium is again established. Once the equilibrium is again established, then reactants will change into products will change into reactants, my dear friends. So this was the effect of increase in pressure, my dear friends. Now if we go for the second factor, that is decrease in pressure from outside. If we decrease the pressure from outside, we are having the effect of pressure change over equilibrium state for the same chemical reaction. So what is going to happen? Let us understand that. Please make note of this. Dear friends, let us understand now with respect to decrease in pressure. Let us decrease the pressure from outside. So what is the change you are imposing over system at equilibrium? This reaction is at equilibrium and you are disturbing it. How you are disturbing it? From outside, you are decreasing the pressure from outside. So pressure is decreased from outside. So according to Le-Chatelier's principle, you know, if any change is imposed on the system, it is opposed by the system which is at equilibrium, correct? So let us see. I am decreasing the pressure from outside for this chemical reaction which is at equilibrium. So what will happen? Opposite should happen. This is change imposed and change opposite will be increase in pressure. If this is decrease in pressure from outside, reaction should increase the pressure. How the reaction will increase the pressure? Have a look. Pressure from outside is decreasing. I'll write down a chemical reaction takes place from lower number of moles, will take place from lower number of moles to higher number of moles. So from lower number of moles to higher number of moles. Here we have only 1 mole, that is lower number. And here we have 2 moles, that is higher number. So reaction will take place from lower number of moles to higher number of moles. So it will go from 1 to 2. That 1 to 2 is nothing but it will go from products to reactants. So from products to reactants. So reaction will move from products to reactants. And that is nothing but that is the backward direction. So product is just 1 mole and reactants are 2 moles. So what is the change imposed? Change imposed is decrease in pressure. You have decreased the pressure for this chemical reaction which was at equilibrium. Here the pressure was actually, you know what? Like with respect to number of moles, if you see that 2 moles will exert more pressure, 1 mole will exert, yes, less pressure. But at equilibrium pressure will be always constant, temperature will be constant, concentrations will be constant. So you are decreasing the pressure from outside. And the reaction has to do opposite of it. If you are decreasing the pressure, reaction has to increase the pressure. So what is the way to increase the pressure? Have a look. The reaction takes place from lower number of moles to higher number of moles. So pressure will automatically what? Come on, increase. So pressure increases. You are decreasing the pressure chemical reaction is increasing the pressure, doing exactly opposite as per as Le Chatelier's principle. Now in this case, products will change into reactants. 1 mole will change into 2 moles and pressure will increase. 1 mole to 2 mole, pressure increases. So backward. So here backward reaction takes place because product to reactant is a backward reaction. Takes place till equilibrium is regained. So my dear friends, you have to regain the equilibrium. So this reaction will take place in backward direction till the time equilibrium is again established, my dear friends. So your product will change back into the reactant only till the time equilibrium is once again established. Then again reactants will change into products, products will change back into reactants. Now you can apply this thing on any of the chemical reactions, but remember, if delta N is 0, I told you at the beginning, if delta N, change in number of moles, is 0, then pressure will have no effect on that particular chemical reaction. Are you following my points, my dear friends? So please make note of this. So let's take on one more chemical reaction to understand the effect of pressure over equilibrium state. Let's take this chemical reaction. N2 plus 3 times H2 gaseous will give me 2 times NH3. Let us understand what will be the effect of pressure over this chemical reaction, my dear friends. So let us have a look. Okay, first of all, this reaction is at equilibrium. This is at equilibrium. What I need to do, I need to calculate delta N first. Delta N, if it is 0, then understand pressure will have no effect. But we know that delta N cannot be 0 here, because here we have 4 moles. 3 and 1 is 4, and here we have 2 moles. So it will be 2 minus 4, that is minus 2. So delta N is not 0. So that means pressure will have some effect. So let us see what will be the effect of pressure on this chemical reaction. We'll increase the pressure and decrease the pressure, correct? But remember always, here we have reactants. We have here 4 moles. And here we have a product. And product we have 2 moles. Because if you know that how many moles are here and there, you can easily tell what is the effect of pressure. So let us impose the change on it. Change imposed on system at equilibrium. Your system is your chemical reaction, Haber's process. So let us see which change we are imposing on the system. I told you last time, if I increase the pressure from outside, you know that this chemical reaction is at equilibrium. The temperature, pressure, concentration, everything will be constant. So what I am going to do, I am going to disturb the equilibrium. How I am going to disturb the equilibrium? I will either increase the pressure or decrease the pressure. Let us suppose I am increasing the pressure from outside and I want to disturb this equilibrium, correct? So what is going to happen? I told you, when pressure is increased from outside, then reaction will decrease the pressure. Change imposed should be opposed. Le Chatelier's principle. You are increasing the pressure, chemical reaction should decrease the pressure. So how to decrease the pressure? When you move from lower number of moles to higher number of moles, or from higher to lower number of moles? When you move from higher moles to lower number of moles, pressure will automatically decrease. So obviously I will tell here, chemical reaction, this chemical reaction will take place from higher number of moles to lower number of moles. When you go from more number of moles to less number of moles, quantity of moles will decrease and pressure will also decrease. So chemical reaction will take place from higher number of moles to lower number of moles to decrease the pressure. From outside you are increasing the pressure, but your chemical reaction is doing opposite. You are increasing pressure from outside to disturb this equilibrium. And what is this chemical reaction doing? It's doing opposite because of Le Chatelier's principle statement. So this is doing opposite, correct? So pressure will decrease. When pressure decreases, you have to move from higher number of moles to lower number of moles. So while you have higher number, this is higher number, so this is higher number, and this is lower number, lower number. So when you are moving from higher number to lower number, that means you are moving from reactants to products. Yes or no, my dear friends? So reactants to products you are moving. We have here 4 moles and here we have 2 moles. So this is higher number and this is lower number, and automatically pressure will decrease. Okay? So I will write down here. So forward reaction takes place. Correct? Now let us do one thing. Let us decrease the pressure for the same chemical reaction. Change imposed. Let me decrease the pressure from outside. Pressure is decreased now. What should chemical reaction do? Opposite. It should increase the pressure. So I will write down. Chemical reaction will move from lower number of moles to higher number of moles to increase the pressure, From outside we are decreasing the pressure. Chemical reaction has to increase the pressure. So it has to move from lower number of moles to higher number of moles, my dear friends. And lower number is here 2. It has to move from 2 moles to 4 moles. That means when it moves from 2 to 4, it moves from product to reactant. So obviously we will get here reaction will move from product to reactant, because product is 2 moles and reactant is 4 moles. So from lower number to higher number. So pressure will increase, my dear friends. Yes. So my dear friends, which reaction takes place? So backward reaction takes place. Okay. So backward reaction takes place till equilibrium is regained. It will take place up to the time that equilibrium is once again established. So here, so forward reaction takes place till equilibrium is regained. So I hope you have easily understood now what is the effect of pressure. Previous time I told you, when you increase the temperature from outside for a reaction which is at equilibrium, then what happens? Increase in temperature from outside will cause which reaction? Endothermic reaction. And decrease in temperature from outside, okay, will cause exothermic reaction. For pressure, if you increase the pressure from outside, what will happen? The reaction has to decrease the pressure, so it will go from higher number of moles to lower number of moles and pressure will decrease. When you decrease the pressure from outside, then the chemical reaction will go from lower number of moles to higher number of moles to increase the pressure. Exactly opposite I am telling you. So increase the temperature, endothermic, decrease the temperature, exothermic reaction. Increase the pressure, what will happen? Lower number of moles to higher or higher to lower. Increase the pressure, it will go from higher to lower. Decrease the pressure, it will go from lower to higher. That's it. So this was about the pressure, my dear friends. Please make note of this. Dear friends, now let us understand the effect of concentration change over equilibrium. Now I am going to disturb the equilibrium by changing the concentration terms. Like I can change the concentration of reactants or I can change the concentration of products just to disturb the equilibrium. Okay? Then the chemical reaction will always oppose the change. If I am increasing reactants, chemical reaction will decrease the reactants. If I am decreasing the reactants from outside, then chemical reaction will increase the reactants, my dear friends. Now you will be thinking that how come I decrease the reactants? I can remove the reactants from the chemical reaction and reactants will decrease. I can add more reactants into the chemical reaction, so reactants will increase. Similarly, I can also increase or decrease the molar concentration of products. Yes, if I remove products, concentration of products will decrease. If I add some products from outside, then concentration of products will increase. So I can disturb the equilibrium in simple terminology. Let us have a look at it. First of all, change imposed over system at equilibrium. Let us suppose what kind of change I am doing for this chemical reaction. Let us suppose I am increasing the concentration of reactants. Molar concentration of reactants is increased. So what will happen? Change opposed by the system to regain equilibrium. This chemical reaction will oppose this change. I am increasing reactants. This guy has to decrease the reactants. So how to decrease the reactants, my dear friends? Reactants can be only decreased when reaction will move from reactants to products. That means forward direction. I am increasing the reactants from outside. How? I will put some nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas into this reaction mixture. So concentration of reactants will increase. So I am increasing the concentration of reactants. So chemical reaction should decrease the concentration of reactants. Le-Chatelier's principle. Change imposed on the system should be opposed by the system. Change is here, imposed is increase. Opposite should be decrease. So now when reactants are decreased, how to decrease the reactants? Reactants will only decrease when reactants are changing into products, because reactants decrease, products will increase in a forward reaction. So reactants, I will write down here, molar concentration of reactants decrease in forward reaction. So what does it mean? It means reactants will change into products. So forward reaction takes place, my dear friends. Now let us see the second change here. The second change will be basically the decrease. Let us decrease the reactants from outside. Let's decrease it. So when you are decreasing the reactants from outside, how? Let me remove some nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas from this particular reaction. Okay, so reactant will decrease. What should be your system doing? Change opposite by the system to regain equilibrium. So this chemical reaction will do opposite of that. I am decreasing the reactants. So when I am decreasing the reactants, this system, this chemical reaction has to increase the reactants. If I go in forward direction, reactants will decrease, products will increase. But I want to increase the reactants. How to increase the reactants? Reactants can be only increased when you move from products to reactants. If reaction is moving from products to reactants, products are changing into reactants, then products will decrease and reactants will increase. Once again, if products will change into reactants, then products will decrease and reactants will increase. So let me write down here now. Molar concentration of reactants increases in backward reaction. How? Here the product will change into the reactant, my dear friends. So when product changes into reactant, product will decrease and reactant will increase, and I want my reactant to increase. Here I want my reactant to decrease. Yes? What is the change imposed from outside? Reactants are increased from outside. You are adding more and more reactants. Our chemical reaction is decreasing the reactants. Change imposed should be the change opposed. Now let us do the same thing for the products as well. In first case, reactants are changing into products. That means N2 will react with H2 and give me NH3. In second case, products are changing into reactants. That means NH3 will change into N2 and H2. So reverse reaction will take place. Dear friends, now let us look into the decrease and increase in the molar concentration of products. So let us take on, first of all, increase in molar concentration of products. And let us see what will happen to the chemical reaction. So molar concentration of product is increased here. This is the change imposed. Then system will oppose the change. It will decrease the molar concentration of product. So how to decrease the molar concentration of product? When product will change into reactant, product concentration will decrease, reactant concentration will increase. So what is the meaning? That product is changing into reactant, that means backward reaction will take place. So let me write down here, molar concentration of products, Okay, decreases in backward reaction. So molar concentration of products will decrease in backward reaction. Products will change into reactants, products will decrease, reactants will increase. So obviously it will go from products to reactants. So this is the direction. That means this reaction will go from NH3 to N2 and H2. Product to reactant. NH3 to N2 and H2. That's the direction. Now final thing is that let us take on the molar concentration of product and let us decrease it from outside. I will remove some NH3 from this reaction. Okay, so product will decrease, molar concentration of product will decrease. Now the system will oppose it as far as Leisher-Lear's principle is concerned. So what is the opposite thing to be done? The molar concentration of product will be increased here. How to increase the molar concentration of product? When reactants will change into product, reactants will decrease and products will increase, and I want my products to increase. So forward reaction. So I will write down molar concentration of products increase in forward reaction, my dear friends. Okay, so that means our reactants will change into products. When reactant changes into product, what is the meaning? N2 plus H2 will change into NH3. So that is the direction of the reaction, my dear friends. So remember always, when you decrease the reactants, then the chemical reaction which is at equilibrium will be disturbed and it will do the opposite of that. If you are increasing, the chemical reaction will decrease. Okay? If you are increasing the concentration of reactant, chemical reaction will decrease the concentration of reactant. Then how to decrease the concentration of reactant? When reactant will change into product, and that is nothing but a forward reaction. So easily you can understand that whatever the chains are imposed on the system and how the system is opposing those chains to get back to the equilibrium state. My dear friends, please make note of this. Dear friends, let us see the effect of addition of inert gas over equilibrium state. Let us disturb the equilibrium state by adding inert gas, correct? First of all, you remember, inert gas does not react with reaction mixture. Inert gas, if you add inert gas, it will not react with reactants and products. Why? Because it's chemically inactive. So inert gas will not react, remember that. Second point, when delta N is equal to 0 for a chemical reaction which is at equilibrium, then addition of inert gas will have no effect. If delta N is 0 for any chemical reaction, then addition of inert gas will have no effect over the equilibrium. Equilibrium will not be disturbed when delta N is 0. If delta N is not 0, it is greater than or less than 0, then what happens? The addition of inert gas will have the effect, yes and over the equilibrium. Equilibrium state can change when delta N is greater than or less than 0, or we can say when delta N is not equal to 0. At that time, if you add inert gas to a chemical reaction which is at equilibrium, then equilibrium will be disturbed by that. So how will be equilibrium disturbed? You have to understand. First of all, let us suppose if I add inert gas, okay, to a particular chemical reaction which is at equilibrium, present in a closed system. I am adding some inert gas from outside. Okay, so I will do this thing. Addition of inert gas. Okay, so this is the change imposed over the system. So when you add inert gas, my dear friends, what will happen? These two factors can change. Pressure can change or volume can change. Let us take on pressure. Okay, let us suppose addition of inert gas. What is that? Change imposed over the system at equilibrium. So change imposed over the system at equilibrium. So due to addition of inert gas, what happens? Let us suppose pressure will increase. Pressure has increased. Okay. So what will our chemical reaction do? It will oppose the change. So, okay. Change has to be opposed. Change opposed by the system to regain equilibrium. To regain equilibrium. So in order to establish the equilibrium, the change has to be opposed. So pressure is increased here. How? By the addition of inert gas. Okay. So here the pressure should decrease. And I told you last time how to decrease the pressure. When you go from higher moles to lower moles. So it will be decreased from higher moles to lower moles. Okay, we can say higher number of moles to lower number of moles. Okay, higher number of moles to lower number of moles. What will happen by doing this? Pressure will decrease, my dear friends. And when you are going from higher number of moles to lower number of moles, that means here we have actually 4 moles and here we have 2 moles. That means you have to go from 4 to 2. That means you are going from 4 to 2. When you go from 4 to 2, that means you are going from reactant to product. When you go from reactant to product, that means forward reaction takes place. Reaction takes place till equilibrium is regained. Till equilibrium is regained. So dear friends, now if you decrease the pressure here by removing the inert gas, if you decrease the pressure, let us suppose, what will happen? Here the pressure will increase. And how to increase the pressure? When you are going from lower number of moles to higher number of moles, and lower number of moles means 2 moles to 4 moles. That means you will go from products to reactants. That means you will go in a backward direction. I hope, my dear friends, you have understood these factors and all. Okay, please make note of this. Finally, the effect of catalyst over equilibrium state. Remember, my dear friends, catalyst will have no effect over equilibrium state. What's the meaning? If you add a catalyst to a chemical reaction which is at equilibrium, so remember the catalyst will have no effect over equilibrium state. Or I will also write down addition of catalyst will have no effect over equilibrium state. Then what does catalyst do? Okay. Catalyst will increase rate of forward reaction and rate of backward reaction equally. So net change is 0. So when you add a catalyst to a chemical reaction, what happens? The rate of forward reaction and rate of backward reaction will be increased equally. Yes or no, my dear friends? So the net change will be 0. So chemical equilibrium will remain unaffected when you add catalyst to a chemical reaction which is at equilibrium state. So dear friends, this was all for how the Le-Chatelier's principle work and what are the factors which affect the equilibrium. So I hope you have understood, my dear friends. So with this, we'd like to take a leave. Have a great time. Yo-yo.